Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we really try to excavate that actionable gold you need. Today, we're tackling something I think almost everyone in business feels at some point. That disconnect, that friction between sales and marketing. You know, when it feels like they're just speaking different languages or operating in totally separate worlds. It's more than just annoying, right? It often feels like this massive, maybe even unsolvable problem, maybe not even worth discussing because it's just always there. But here's the thing, aligning these teams, it actually works. Companies that get this right see measurably better results, like up to 36% higher customer retention, 20% more sales wins. That's not small change. So our mission today is to give you a practical shortcut. We're digging into 7 pretty straightforward, actionable projects designed to get sales and marketing truly collaborating. We're drawing heavily from a great piece by Casey Tveit at Bigtincan called 7 Quick Ways to Align Sales and Marketing for GTM Success, published just this past May 21st, 2025. Our promise, you'll get real insights fast. Find those aha moments without feeling buried in complexity.
We're focusing on actionable stuff. At GTM, go-to-market strategy, that's the whole plan for selling, right? So alignment is just critical. Okay, let's break this down. Why does this misalignment happen so much? And what are the real costs, maybe the hidden ones?
It's a really good question. And it's fundamental, I think. Sales and marketing, they just operate on different rhythms day to day. Even if the big goal, revenue, is the same. Marketing's often looking long-term. Building awareness, nurturing leads, brand stuff, sales. They're zeroed in on the now, the deal right in front of them, the specific customer interaction, hitting quota this month or quarter. And that difference, well, it naturally creates gaps. Different systems, different content flying around, even different words for the same thing. So unless you're really intentional about aligning them, you get friction, duplicated work, and frankly, a weaker go-to-market plan. The cost isn't just frustration, it's real money. Lost deals, wasted ad spend, slower growth. These 7 projects, they're great shortcuts. But the bigger idea, the real shift, is creating a kind of unified operational language, a shared understanding.
That makes so much sense. Of the long-term versus the immediate focus, it clarifies a lot. And what I like about these projects, and the article points this out too, is that if there's one thing everyone agrees on, it's the customer, right?
Yeah.
That feels like such a natural place to start building bridges.
Exactly, yeah. When you start with the customer, building those aligned workflows suddenly becomes, well, a lot easier. It grounds everything.
Okay, so let's dive into project number 1. It sounds simple, maybe deceptively so. Collaborating on ideal customer profiles, ICPs, and buyer personas. What exactly are those? And how are they different in a way that actually matters for alignment?
Good question. They do get mixed up a lot, but the difference is pretty vital. Buyer personas, think of those as detailed sketches of the individuals you need to influence, like Marketing Director Maria or Sales Manager Sam. They're based on real research, data, interviews. Helps you figure out how to talk to them, what messages resonate. ICPs, on the other hand, they describe the company that's your perfect fit. What industry, what size, revenue, it's the target account.
Okay. So the ICP is like the type of building you want to sell to, and the persona is the specific person inside that building you need to convince. Is that kind of close?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it really captures it.
Okay, so collaborating sounds good, but how does it actually work? You mentioned involving sales early. But what if sales thinks they know the customer, but maybe marketing's data says something a bit different? That sounds like a potential clash right there. How do you get them to build these together?
Right, that's where the process matters. You don't just have marketing create them in isolation. You start by looking at your actual customers. Who are the key decision makers you're successfully selling to right now? Identify those core personas first. Then you build them out together using a mix of things. Look at your CRM data, your sales stats, that's the quantitative part. But also, crucially, do customer interviews. Talk to people, understand their goals, their challenges, how they buy. That's the qualitative bit. The aha moment often comes when both teams see the combined picture. It's not just about who the customer is, but where the misunderstandings between sales and marketing assumptions were causing problems. This whole process forces that shared data-backed view. It reduces that friction because everyone's working off the same playbook, finally.
That shared playbook is key, isn't it? Otherwise, yeah, shaky foundation. Which brings us neatly to project number 2, getting a process for gaining, sharing, and actually using customer insights. This one, I think, hits home for a lot of listeners. It's that classic problem. Marketing needs the insights, but they're maybe too far removed from daily calls. Sales has the insights, but they're swamped trying to close deals. So how do you fix that gap, that knowledge flow issue?
You really have to start with buy-in. Marketing probably needs to lead it, yep. But get sales involved right at the start to help design the process. Maybe a quick kickoff call, a simple survey. Make it clear what you're trying to do, why it benefits both sides, especially sales, and, importantly, how little time it should take them. You have to sell the reps on how logging this stuff helps them close more deals later. Then, make sharing easy. Use tools you already have, your CRM, a dedicated Slack channel, maybe your company intranet or enablement platform. Regular meetings together are also good for digging deeper, looking at trends and deciding what to do with the insights. And to really boost this, think about tools like conversation intelligence or meeting AI. These things can automatically transcribe calls, pull out keywords, see who's talking, flag objections or questions that keep coming up. It gives marketing this incredibly rich, unbiased view into real customer conversations. Powerful stuff for refining messages. Also, make it simple for the reps. Give them just a couple of specific questions to ask consistently. How'd you find us? What problem led you here? Build those into their call prep or follow-up routine so it's not just another task added on top.
Oh, that's smart, making it part of the existing workflow, not extra work.
Exactly. And don't forget win-loss reporting. This should be non-negotiable, really. Reps need to log why a deal closed or why it didn't. What questions came up? What did the buyer care about most? Who were the competitors? But here's the critical part. Don't just collect the data, you have to act on it. Use it. Adjust your messaging, tweak your content, refine your sales strategy, train reps better on objections, improve your positioning. It needs to be a loop. Collect, analyze, act, repeat.
Right, that feedback loop is essential. Okay, that leads us to project 3. Defining, refining, and importantly, coaching the messaging. You know, as you're listening, think about your own company. If you asked, say, 5 different salespeople, what does our product actually do? How many answers would you get? I bet for many, it's quite a few. That inconsistency is just confusing for buyers. So how do we get everyone singing from the same song sheet, make sure sellers are truly buyer-ready?
Yeah, that's a common one. First step is collaboration between marketing and sales enablement, whoever handles training. Create simple, digestible materials, short training decks, maybe one-page messaging guides, literally. Key points on a single page, pitch practice exercises, and critically, these need to cover the latest product updates, positioning shifts, the right language to use. Give reps a chance to practice before they're live with a customer.
So it's more than just throwing a slide deck at them. It's like teaching someone the playbook versus just giving them the ball. You need to coach the delivery too.
Precisely. You coach the message, not just the slides. You can start with a group session, sure, but then follow up one-on-one with sales managers helping their teams. I remember this one situation. Reps were literally making their own demo slides because the official ones felt out of date or didn't fit. Total mess. Clear messaging and coaching would have solved that. And for bigger teams, to do this at scale, sales coaching platforms are huge. They help ensure everyone's using the same story, the same language. Sellers can practice, get feedback, even AI feedback now. Marketers and managers can assign practice pitches. Tools like Bigtincan Readiness, formerly Brainshark, do this. They have AI feedback, time-stamped comments. There's even stuff like Bigtincan's Roleplay AI, where reps practice against an AI persona. Gets them reps without scheduling live sessions. It's about consistency, especially when you're growing fast.
Okay, so those first 3 are really about building that shared foundation, aren't they? Who the customer is, what they care about, and how we talk to them consistently. Getting that shared customer language. Building on that content. Let's talk content. What does all this mean for the stuff we actually create and share? The source says content strategy needs daily customer input. Makes sense.
It's absolutely crucial. Which brings us right to project number 4. Setting up a clear way for sellers to request content or give feedback to marketing. You know the usual frustrations. Sellers need something now. Marketers are busy creating stuff, maybe not the right stuff. The request process is often just chaos. Slack messages, emails, drive-by conversations, things get lost. Or worse, reps just create their own stuff, which can be risky, off-brand, maybe legally dicey. Getting the right content to the right person at the right time, it's critical. Having a documented request process helps prioritize, prevents wasted effort, benefits everyone.
Okay, so practically speaking, how do you set that up? Beyond just saying email marketing with requests, what are the steps?
Keep it simple but structured. A lightweight request form is usually best. You can build it in whatever shared tool your teams use, maybe Rake, Jira, Notion, even a dedicated page on your intranet. Key fields should be, what do you need? Why do you need it? Like, this question keeps killing my demos. And context. Who's it for? What stage of the deal?
And any tips for the marketers trying to get this adopted?
Yeah, keep the form short enough that people will actually fill it out, but detailed enough so you don't need a ton of back and forth. And here's the make or break part. You have to consistently promote the form and gently but firmly enforce its use. If you let people bypass it with Slack DMs, the system falls apart and you're right back in that chaotic mess. Stick to the process.
Oh, yeah, getting people to use the new process is always the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, project 5, auditing and mapping your content. Putting it in a matrix. Think about it. Does your sales team really know all the amazing content marketing has created? Do they know why it exists or the perfect time to use it? Often there's just this pile of content and reps don't know what's in it.
Exactly. Huge pain point. The fix is straightforward, conceptually at least. Audit everything you have and organize it. A content matrix is basically a map. Instead of that disorganized pile, it shows you, for this buyer persona at this stage of their journey, here is the perfect piece of content. You can start simple, maybe a spreadsheet, columns for persona, rows for funnel stage, awareness, consideration, decision, and definitely pull sales in early. They probably have stuff they're using that marketing doesn't even know about. Get that shadow content into the map too. Once it's built, you look for the blank spots. Where are reps struggling because there's no content for a specific persona or stage? That tells you where to focus creation efforts. And keep it updated, quarterly ideally, or more often if you can. Make sure sales can easily see and use it. Oh, and for bigger companies or teams creating tons of content, you might outgrow Google Drive. A proper content management system can be worth its weight in gold for keeping things organized and definable.
Good tip. Okay, that flows right into project 6, creating editable templates for the sales team. This sounds like a great idea. Sales gets to personalize, but marketing keeps control over brand, legal stuff, encourages usage. Seems like a win-win. How do you make these templates work well?
Well, the simplest way is using, Google Slides or Docs templates that can work for basic needs, smaller teams, but they can be a bit limiting visually and hard to lock down completely. For larger teams or more complex needs, a document automation tool is really the way to go. Think of them as super templates. Marketing builds the master template, pulls in approved logos, images, legal disclaimers. Then they define which parts sales can edit freely, which parts they can swap from a pre-approved library, like case studies, and which parts are totally locked down. It gives you that fine-grained control. Sales can quickly tailor a proposal or presentation with customer details, but they can't accidentally mess up the branding or the legal bits.
That's clever. Empowering, but with guardrails.
Okay, we've covered understanding the customer, messaging consistently, and arming sales with the right content. Let's shift gears a bit to social media. Often a really fast, organic way to boost reach without just pouring money into ads, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to the final project, number 7, implementing an employee social advocacy initiative. This is a true win-win-win when sales and marketing get it right. Sales reps build their networks, engage potential buyers, establish themselves as experts through social selling, builds trust. Marketing gets their content shared way more widely and more authentically than just through the official brand channels. Let's face it, people trust people more than logos, and the company overall gets more visibility, more credibility.
So how do you actually get teams sharing? What are the practical ways to make this happen? Maybe depending on budget. There are a couple of main approaches. You can do it manually, especially if budget is tight. Your social media team or content team can write short, ready-to-go posts. Copy-paste, link included, share those via Slack, email, whatever, make it super easy. Posts linking to articles, awards, upcoming webinars, cool company news. Key things here are keep the sharing requests manageable, don't overwhelm people, and focus on stuff that's actually useful or interesting for reps to share, not just constant buy now messages. But the better way, honestly, especially for scaling this, is using an employee advocacy platform. These tools automate a lot of it, make sharing faster, easier, but crucially, they give you data. You can see the collective reach of your employees' posts, track engagement, see which content resonates, even which employees are your biggest advocates. Yeah. That data turns social sharing from a nice-to-have into a measurable, strategic part of your GTM.
Wow, okay. So those 7 projects, they really cover the key alignment areas, don't they? Understanding the customer, getting the message and content right, and then amplifying it through your people on social. It really feels like a practical roadmap for simplifying that whole GTM approach and getting sales and marketing pulling together.
They're definitely a strong foundation, a great starting point. But that quote from the source material really sticks with me. If your teams are working from different systems, using different content, and speaking different languages, no amount of meetings will fix it. It highlights that these projects, while important, are also about driving a deeper shift, creating that unified operational language like we talked about, a fundamental change in how teams work together, which maybe raises a bigger question for everyone listening. Beyond these specific projects, what other foundational process or even cultural changes might be needed in your organization for that really deep, lasting alignment?
That is definitely something to think about. So as you, listening, reflect on this deep dive, maybe ask yourself, which of these 7 projects hits closest to home for you right now? Is it getting clear on your ICP and personas? Streamlining content requests? Boosting social sharing? How could you maybe start implementing just one of these? Think of it as a catalyst, a way to start simplifying your GTM and finally get everyone truly rowing in the same direction. It's not just about information, it's about making a real change.